Think about this morning. You woke up, picked up your phone, opened Zomato, and ordered breakfast. Felt completely normal, right? But here's something most people don't know. The company behind the app was once just 6 months away from dying. No money, no certainty, and almost no way out. For a moment, it looked like Zomato was finished. But somehow it came back, and today Zomato is one of the India's biggest company. So how did a startup that almost collapsed become a company worth of 2 lakh crores? This is the story of Zomato. Let's go back to 2008. A young man named Deepinder Goyal is working at company. Life is good, stable job, good salary, a clear future. Everything seems settled. But one ordinary afternoon, something catches his attention. In the office cafeteria, people are standing in a long queues, not for food, just for a menu. There is only one paper menu available, and everyone is waiting for their turn just to decide what to eat. Sounds small, right? But for Deepinder, this felt like a problem. And suddenly a simple thought hits him. Why isn't the menu online? That's it. No billion-dollar master plan, no revolutionary business idea. Just one simple question. That night, Deepinder goes home and speaks with his friend, Pankaj Chadha. Together, they built a small website. They call it Foodie Bay. And the idea is incredibly simple. No delivery, no fancy app, no discount. Just restaurant's menu. Only. That's it. But surprisingly, people loved it because back then, finding restaurants information online in India was difficult. Slowly, more users started coming, restaurants started noticing, and investors started paying attention. Then in 2010, something unbelievable happened. Deepinder pitched the company to investors. The meeting lasted just 8 minutes. And after hearing the idea, an investor decided to put in $1 million. 8 minutes, $1 million idea. The same year, the company went through another big change. The founders wanted to rename it. Originally, they wanted the name Tomato, but the domain name was already taken. So they changed one letter. T became Z, and then just like that, Zomato was born. But this was only the beginning, because the next few years will completely change the company. Once Zomato started growing, it grew fast, really fast. First Delhi, then Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad. Soon the company expanded across India, but they did not stop there. Zomato started growing internationally. The UAE, Australia, then UK, South Africa. And by 2015, Zomato had expanded to 23 countries. Everything looked perfect. Money was coming in. The company was growing. Investors were excited. Zomato looked unstoppable. But there was one big problem. Zomato was helping people discover restaurants, not order food. And that means they were missing a huge opportunity, because if people are already choosing restaurants on your platform, why not help them order too? So in 2015, Zomato entered food delivery, and that decision changed everything. Restaurants loved it, customers loved it, the app became more popular, and Zomato slowly became part of people's daily life. Ordering food was becoming normal. Everything seemed perfect, but sometimes the biggest problems arrive when everything looks fine. And in 2020, then came COVID. The world stopped. Restaurants shut down. Cities are entirely locked down. People stayed home. And suddenly the future of the food delivery looked uncertain. Orders dropped sharply. Revenue suffered. Fear spread across the market. Money became harder to raise. And according to Deepinder himself, Zomato had only around 6 months of cash left. Think about that for a second. Imagine building a company for more than 10 years only to realize it might not survive the next 6 months. Thousands of employees, millions of customers, everything on the line. Zomato needed a way out fast. And Deepinder had one major option left. Go public, raise money for ordinary people, or risk losing everything. So in 2021, Zomato launched its IPO and India went crazy. The company raised 9.375 crores. The IPO was oversubscribed 38 times. Everyone wanted a piece of Zomato. It felt like the company had finally won. But then everything changed again. Just months later, Zomato shares dropped nearly 70%. Investors panicked. People started losing confidence. The media began asking difficult questions. Was Zomato overvalued? Will the company ever become profitable? Some people even started saying Zomato is finished. And at the exact moment, Deepinder made a decision that shocked almost everyone. At the time, Zomato was already losing money. The stock price has crashed. investors were unhappy. And then Deepinder announced something unexpected. Zomato will acquire Blinkit for around 4,447 crores. People thought he had lost his mind. Why buy another struggling business when your own company is under pressure? Investors were furious. The stock fell even more. Criticism came from everywhere, but Deepinder believed something others didn't. The future wasn't just food delivery, it was quick commerce. People no longer wanted deliveries in 40 minutes. They wanted groceries, essentials, and food delivered in just minutes. And slowly, the risky bet started paying off. Blinkit grew, orders increased, quick commerce exploded in India, and suddenly the same decision criticized started looking brilliant. Then came the moment nobody expected. In 2025, Zomato entered the Nifty 50, India's list of top companies. A company that almost ran out of money and now joins the country's biggest chains. Today, Zomato controls a huge share of India's food delivery market. Over 2 lakh crores. All of this from one simple problem in an office cafeteria, a menu, a queue, and only one simple question. Why isn't this online? Crazy, right? A company that almost died is now one of the India's biggest business, and maybe that's the biggest lesson from here. Sometimes massive companies begin with very small problems. But now I want to ask you, what do you think? Will Zomato continue growing or will Swiggy eventually catch up? Tell me in the comments. And if you want the full story of Swiggy, the video is coming next. Subscribe so you don't miss it. Thank you.